Well, for more now, we're joined here in the studio by Reinhard Eberl-Pacan, an architect and expert on building fire safety. Reinhard, thank you so much for coming in this morning. Now, you've seen the video of that building. It is still burning, we understand. In terms of fire safety, what can you surmise from what you've seen about that building? What can you surmise about the fire from what you have seen so far?
I'm also shocked about this big extent of the fire in this high-rise building, which should not occur in Europe with our fire regulations. And I can't imagine that if everything was right there. It's hard to surmise it here from the distance from Berlin, but I can only imagine that there were the construction works. They made some thought, and you can only think about some burnable materials used by the last updating works or by the last construction works, maybe for isolation, for an additional isolation. And they are forbidden for this high-rise building, but only they can lead to such an extended fire.
Now, with isolation, you mean insulation? Like
insulation, yes. Perhaps. Insulation for energy-saving reasons, and it's just a suggestion, but I cannot explain it otherwise. That you need burnable materials, and you need air, and maybe they made a lot of things wrong when they made some additional energy safety works for this building, and only this can lead to such. If I compare it with we have in Germany not this big fires in high-rise building, not yet, but we have also a discussion in the last years about what materials are good for this energy saving on the one hand and fire protection on the other hand. And I think we in Germany we learned a lot about this, and we improved some things. But this maybe it's, yes, as far as I know it, it's maybe 10 years ago happened, and so it was not up to date with these measures.
Okay, when a fire like this happens in a building and it begins to burn, what sort of challenges does that present for firefighters, particularly in a tall building?
For firefighters, it's extreme challenging because it's totally hard to extinguish it with your means you have. It's high. You cannot extinguish it high up. You have a lot of people you have to care about. You have to look at what is inside the building. Is there know the people the rules what they have to do if a fire occurs, and if this fire is expanding so quickly, and you see a house in this status of fire, it's totally, yes, it's a big shock for them also, and they work under horrible conditions.
Talking about the rules, one of the rules in London apparently is for residents to stay put in their units unless they're directly affected by smoke or fire. We saw that earlier. Is that also a regulation that you understand to be effective?
Normally it's effective. Normally it's effective because you have a fire. Normally it's only in one flat you have a fire, and the other fires, other flats are safe. Yes, you have 90 minutes, and in high-rise building even more time till when a fire can go out of a flat. But if you have a fire like this, which comes over the facade, and from the facade it goes into a lot of flats. Yes, it's totally for the people. Yes, nobody knows what to do because it's a fire which is hard to predict before, and we make fire safety measures just to avoid this.
Okay, Reinhard, thank you so much. Reinhard Eberl-Pacan, an architect and expert on building fire safety. Thank you so much.